I spent 3 decades medicating myself for social anxiety. And then I went through an awakening in my mid 30s and it got 10 times worse. I'm here today making this video, the truths about the social anxiety of awakening and how you can transcend this struggle because it's been over a decade that I have been medication free. After a lifetime of struggling with anxiety and then it getting worse when I woke up, I'm here to tell you that it's only coming up to leave. The most important thing about waking up is realizing who you truly are. Are you the voice of love or are you the voice of fear? It's realizing that all the beliefs, all the conditioning, all the emotions, all the thoughts, all the stories, all the lifetimes, whether human or galactic or whatever, none of it is you. You are a divine presence. You are an essence. You are an eternal being having a human experience. You're not even a person. You're tones, frequencies, something way beyond our little human minds can even comprehend. Once you have that baseline and that foundation, and you stay committed to that connection to yourself and that knowing of who you are, everything shifts. But first, it tends to get worse. If you think of a pool that, it looks nice and crystal blue, you can see all the way to the bottom, and then you stick that vacuum in there and you start vacuuming, and all the gunk that was in the cracks starts getting stirred up. Now the pool looks dirty as heck, and it looked clean and clear before. That's what's happening to your energy. All the stuff you suppressed deep down is getting stirred up every lifetime, every reality from first separation until now. And it doesn't even matter how many lifetimes you've had. This is my first body on planet Earth. I remember coming here now, but I didn't when I was younger. But it doesn't matter because I've remembered thousands of lifetimes. I call them parallel lives rather than past lives. Ultimately, as a facet of source, I am everywhere, everything, and I feel that today. I am aware that I exist through all space and time and beyond as awareness. So, everything that's ever happened and played out on Earth, at some level, we feel it. And you could say that we clear it, we go through it, we go beyond it, we transcend it. This foundation is key for transcending all emotional struggles. If you don't know me, my name is Kathy and I'm a source embodiment guide. I help people transcend struggles because you have all the wisdom you need inside of you. It's all within you. It's about that connection to yourself. And when you drop all the layers of identity, of beliefs, of really being identified with a mind and a body and realizing who you are, when you go from thinking everything through and using your subconscious and all the memory banks to try to project into the future and live from that space, and you start to live in presence. Take a breath with me. Feel your presence. When you breathe and feel, don't think, and you live from your connection to, of, and as all that is, life becomes totally different. So, that is the foundation for transcending everything. And I don't want to say that by transcending everything, you're never going to feel anything. So, I hope that this list today helps you. I'm going to talk a bit about my experience because I had such a terrible time with social anxiety when I was growing up. So, I put together kind of like a quick list of the main challenges I've had and how I overcame them and what you can do as well. First of all, you are not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. There's not even anything wrong with having social anxiety. I remember when I was little kid, I felt terribly like a misfit in this world. I thought there was something totally terribly broken with me. I would hide. I remember there was a family member who forgot my parents had a fourth child. I was the youngest, and people forgot I existed because I would go hide in the attic. I had such tremendous, crippling social anxiety. I thought I would just die every day. It's very common. I've talked to hundreds, probably thousands of people now who struggle with anxiety. It's common, it's normal. You're not broken, you're not alone. Just knowing this hopefully gives you some sense of relief. So let it be okay. There is actually a reason for your anxiety. The best thing you can do is to understand it a little bit. And, they say the truth shall set you free. Now, why do you have this and where does it come from? It has an origin. So it's not just senseless and pointless. Every lifetime you've ever lived, every life, every energy that's ever been experienced on earth, on some level, we feel it all. But as you wake up, when you get the clarion call from your soul, from your essence, from your creator self that says, that's it, we've gone dense enough. We're going to wake up and remember who we are and drop all these weights and see what it's like to live here in a body as our pure expression. When that happens, everything starts coming up to the surface, just like that pool. It starts spiraling out and you feel it. So it feels like you're going backwards when in fact you're just clearing everything. It's leaving. So celebrate it. Something I used to do a lot was, oh, yay, it's all leaving. I might be crying. I might be on the floor in the fetal position. Yay, this is so great. Sounds silly, but it's important to remember what's really, really happening. And you're not just clearing like one lifetime. If you work with me and if you're ever interested in working with me, I'll link everything below. I do a lot of private sessions. We do aspect integration, past life, parallel lives, soul retrieval, childhood stuff, subconscious clearing, whatever you want to call it. It's all quite similar. It depends what comes up on the call. We go with the flow. But this stuff is collapsing at a rapid pace. We're not just going through one lifetime at a time. All the lifetimes that you've ever lived from first separation until now are collapsing simultaneously as fast as you're willing to go. And if you're like me, I'm like, more, faster. I want to know who I am. Now that I feel so much freedom and joy. I never felt joy when I was younger. I want more of this. So I'm always like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. With the understanding that when I say, hey, all right, I'm ready for the next quantum leap, things might get a little weird. So your awakening, your very embodiment of you amplifies the intensity as more of you is slowing down and merging into this sack of bones. You're merging out all the old energy, all the identities, and it speeds things up. It creates a friction. It creates a lot of confusion. I remember after quitting my job in 2013, and from, I don't know, 2013 to 2019-ish, I hardly worked at all. I went through massive, massive transformation during those years. When the Band-Aid was ripped off of all the meds I had taken.
I had been on antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. I was on multiple ADHD meds. I was taking pain pills, muscle relaxers. I had autoimmune disorders, blah, blah, blah.
When I pulled the plug on that stuff, everything came crashing down. It was like an avalanche of emotions. I felt completely insane. I had panic attacks. I had basically what probably medical professionals might have called a nervous breakdown, but it wasn't a breakdown. It was a breakthrough. The thing was, I had a hard time leaving the house. So if you feel this way, ask for help. Ask your creator self for help. Higher levels, help me. Higher consciousness, I need your help. Bring me all the tools, all the resources, and say thank you. No, it is done. I worked a lot with the angelic, archangelic, ascended host realms. I still do. Now I'm actually the guide. I'm no longer the one asking for help. I'm more the guide, and we work as a team, and they're all just other facets of me, of different frequencies of me that are at different levels that can see above the clouds while I'm still here in this human body. At one point, I felt so miserable, awful, horrible that I could hardly leave the house. You know that feeling of total shame and grossness and like you just shouldn't even be breathing? It was that bad. And I went to Walmart of all places. Now, this was a big field trip for me to go to Walmart. Like, I couldn't hardly walk out the front door. And I remember looking at the person who was checking me out, and she looked me in the eye and said, thank you. Have a wonderful day. And I just burst into tears. Now, that was my team showing up saying, Kathy, we got your back. We got your back. We got your back. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Your team will do that for you too. Ask your team for help. Ask your higher consciousness for help. And just know that the intensity is okay. If you burst into tears, it's okay. It's actually more junk that is leaving. As all this is leaving and more of you is merging in, you're embodying more of your true nature. And you are an energetic being. There's no bounds, no barriers between you and anything, and you have access to everything. So you become more and more and more sensitive the more you embody, which is great because that means that you have access to all your inner knowing. You can commune with the different realms, with nature, with animals, with whatever. So your sensitivity is it's your natural state. I mean, I could call it a superpower. It's like a superpower when you're used to being asleep, but it's natural to you. So just know that as that sensitivity expands, it's a wonderful thing, but it can feel like a curse until you learn how to master energy. And I guess learn how might not be the right way to put it. You're becoming who you've always been through this human form. So you're in a different body. This is the first time you've had this level of consciousness in human form because we have evolved now. So you're becoming who you've always been and exploring what it means to you in this new landscape, in this new life. But you are remembering what you already know. So use your mastery. Ask yourself, show me, show me, show me, show me how to do this, how to do that. I can remember sitting in soccer games when my daughter was young. And oh God, I hated those sporting events so much. Soccer, basketball, because again, my younger self, my school age self, hated school, felt awkward, felt awful. And for years, I would go to those events and I would feel those past aspects, energies coming to the surface to leave. So, what can you do when you're in those situations? I'll give you a couple examples of things that I used to do. First of all, I'd show up, remember who you are, remember who you are. I'd ask myself for help. I would breathe and feel. Take a deep breath. That always breaks energy with the thoughts. Feel your presence. Turn the dial to you, turn the dial to love. Presence is incredibly powerful. However, I would still get the heebie jeebies. So then what? Well, if you sit there, the thing about social anxiety is it's all inward, inward, inward. It's like, what about me? What are people thinking about me? Is everybody staring at me? Like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Me. That's all ego. That's all personality. It's like a ego gone mad. So you turn it outward instead of letting all the focus be like judgment directed into you. Screw it. None of this is true. How can I shift this? How can I shift out of this? So I would take a breath, feel my presence, and look at all the players and just tune into the light. Show me the light in each one. And I would look for that I guess you could call it aura, that light emanating. It's something I still love to do when I look at trees. You're looking at the particles of light emanating off of everyone. You're focusing on the true essence. That's always going to feel good. You could do that in your heart, connect through your heart and feel through to the hearts of the people there. You can think about, oh gosh, the mind's over here like, are these people judging me? And then you can correct it and say, you know what? They, in truth, are pure love, pure light. That's who they truly are. If their little ego, their little fake characters that they're playing in this lifetime are judging me, fine. A lot of this has to do with realizing that no judgment is true. Whatever people think about you, it's just a projection through their own filters of judgments and beliefs. Nobody's ever really judged you. You're indefinable. You're a presence. You're an essence. If anything, people have a concept of you in their head. You have a concept of you in your own head. That's a conglomerate of beliefs and judgments. Kathy is this. This is what Kathy equals. Well, technically, there's a body here. There's a bag of flesh, which isn't even that conglomerate. That just is. Then there's all these stories, beliefs, judgments that is, I'll call it the conceptual self. You have created your own conceptual self in your mind, And other people, well, they are looking out the eyes of their conceptual self, which is millions of decisions, judgments they've made in this lifetime. This equals this, that equals that. Men are this, women are that, old people this, young people that, this is good, that's bad, the way people dress, doot, 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 doot. And their little mind is doing like a million little calculations in a millisecond. They just look at you and a million judgments are happening because that's just how the mind works. It goes back through its little files and boop, 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 boop. So without even knowing it, unconsciously, you're, judging everything over and over and over and over and over again. Now, is any of that actually real? Do you want to give your power to it? Is it valid? It's really not real. They don't really know you. It's all based in their own filters. So nobody's ever judged you. They've only projected their own judgments out. So why would we give any power to that? Keeping in mind that it's not real is so important. And they're only judging a concept. You are a presence. You're an essence. You are not your stories. You're not your thoughts. You're not your beliefs. You're not your body. I'm not female. I have a female body. That's pretty awesome. But I'm not female. I'm an essence that transcends the separation of masculine and feminine. So keeping this in mind is important because my essence is love, your essence is love, and the people you meet, when you tune in to that essence of love within them, I mean, feel it in your heart. You can think about it if you want, but feel through your heart and feel into that eternal beingness of others. They're going to feel it. You're going to be lighting something up within them, a remembrance, and it's going to shift how you feel being around others. When you feel the love within yourself, you feel the love within them. You could say the pure creator consciousness, the eternal benevolence, the truth. When you feel that, you tune into that within others. Suddenly you have no enemies. There is no judgment because it's not actually real. And feeling into this can be so helpful, taking that deep breath, feeling your presence, because one of the hardest things is going back out into the world when you don't know who you are. It's like this old personality's been stripped away, and now you're in this awkward phase of, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to act. And so it can be very weird. I get people all the time saying, Kathy, I can't remember anything. I think I'm losing my mind. Good. Your subconscious is being stripped. All this old information, which is all just cluttering you up, basically, it's taking up space in your body of consciousness. When this is stripped away, now you become a clear stream, a streaming flow of source through the body. But before, it was having to go through all these filters, filters, filters. That really slows things down. It bogs you down. It slows down your vibration. The filters are all old. They're filled with old judgments, old beliefs that you're projecting forward. So you want to be a clear, clean stream of consciousness and awareness. So it's actually a wonderful thing. But not knowing who you are can feel weird. So, the ability to show up in places and with people and to just remain in presence is important. You don't have to talk. You don't have to interact. You don't have to put on a smiling face. You can go sit in the corner. You can do what you want to do. It's about starting to honor yourself, trust yourself, and do what's right for you to take care of yourself first and foremost. And then the other part of this is not only do you not really know who you are anymore, but your old relationships with people become weird because they are like, who is this person? You're feeling perhaps a little bit awkward, and now you go and you connect with, let's say, a family member who's known you since you were born or an old, old friend, and now they are feeling this awkwardness in you. They are not just feeling it for one reason. Let me break this down. Number one, when we feel like,
I don't care at all what people think of me. I know who I am, or I don't have to know who I am. I can just express and live and be and flow, and you're in that flow, and you're not carrying all the old judgments and beliefs about, how you have to act and how you have to be and trying to fit in any boxes or trying to people please.
when all that is gone and you are so fully like, I'm perfect as I am, I just am whatever I am, I don't have any judgments about me, I don't have any judgments about you. People feel that and they feel instantly relaxed in your presence. It's like whatever vibration you carry, people tend to tune up to it. So it's beautiful. So, first of all, just know that if you're feeling awkward, people are going to feel a little bit awkward in your presence. No pressure, but it's just the truth. The other thing is these old relationships. So, every old relationship has like its energy dynamics, right? You have a rapport, you have a flow. You see that person, they act like this, you act like that. They say this, you say that. These are the types of things you do. There might be some old codependencies. It might be like, they tend to guilt trip you and you give in, or maybe whatever. With old energy like that, when you're no longer playing those games, now you've dropped those magnets from your energy field. The old interactions that you had with people are like two energy cords, and there's like the magnets are drawn together, like click, they click together, whatever, and you're used to running those old energy patterns. Now you show up, you've dropped these magnets, you're like, okay, I no longer people please, or I no longer give in to power. I don't care what other people think of me, or now I'm just going to be totally honest, or whatever it is. You've released a lot of these energies that once had you drawn to that person. So now you get together and their little feelers are looking for that other end of the magnet to hook into, but you don't have them in your energy field anymore. And they're like, whoa, what's going on? So even though they might not even consciously or cognitively understand why they feel so off around you, they feel incredibly confused. It is confusing, it's disorienting, it can cause fear to come up. If it's somebody who has a tendency maybe to try to be controlling, for example, that might flare up because now these little hungry magnets are like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? They'll poke at you, they'll prod at you. So old relationships can be very tough, but it is such a beautiful thing because number one, you're getting a chance to hold your vibration. You get to hold this new way of being. After you hold it for a while, it clicks in and you never go back down. So you get these little, they're like tests. It's not like a test, are you going to pass or fail? It's just actually that it's the way energy works. The energy has been in these patterns, the people are in these patterns, so they're going to keep coming back to you. So naturally, you're going to be, I'll call it tested again and again and again until it sticks. And then the tests will stop because there won't even be a trace of those old energies in your field anymore. So just know that it's happening temporarily, but you will transcend the majority of this, if not all of it, completely. The other thing is when they are reaching and reaching and coming out, you can use your creativity. You start playing with what works for me. And, beyond judgment, there's only what works for you. Beyond right or wrong or what should I do, it's what really works for me. Now, that is mastery. That is owning it. And you choose what works for you and you honor yourself. You're true to yourself. You could say you love yourself. So you learn how to express yourself. You're relearning how to have relationships from the heart, which is a beautiful thing. So it's kind of like that pool being stirred up. The relationships get stirred up and it becomes a little bit tough, challenging. This is where you dig deep. All right, creator self, show me. Show me from my highest consciousness. How can I approach this from love, kindness, compassion? And when you see within them that they're just scared, they're like freaked out, like they don't know why, but you make them feel very uneasy, then you can have compassion for them. You can see their identities. You can now see through their identities, back to the last point, to the light, the core within them, and remember who they are. And with kindness, some humor, some creativity, you can navigate this. At times, relationships break apart. And this is not a problem per se. You honor where people are at, what they choose. When you are showing up with these new frequencies in your field that aren't necessarily matching theirs, you are opening the door for them to change because now they can take their feelers and go, well, why am I feeling this way? Why do I want to control this person? Or, why am I projecting this onto them? And that is an opportunity to come into awareness, to allow more of them. It literally is an energetic opening where more of their essence is coming in, highlighting these things that they now can go beyond. Unfortunately, people don't always choose that. And if they don't, and they are ignoring themselves, basically, then they'll take their little feelers and they'll go plug into somebody else. So they will satisfy that energetic connection elsewhere. If that's the case, then you might not be interacting with them very much for a while, and that's perfect. That's as it should be. So don't try to force anything. On the other hand, if they go, gosh, why do I feel this way? Like they might say, I don't know why I'm acting like this, or I'm sorry for treating you that way, or blah, blah, blah. And then they're giving you the opportunity to share your awareness with them because you're the one who's kind of elevated up here vibrationally. You're not above them. We're not talking hierarchy here. It's not better or worse, but you're vibrationally, you're seeing from a higher level of consciousness, and you can be like, it's okay. I know how that feels. I've been working on this and transcending this and that, and I feel so much better now. It's freer, but it's really tough. Or you can be heartfeltedly honest with them too and saying, I really realize that I let you control me a lot, or, I've been feeding this thing between us. I've been acting this way, this way, this way, and I'm just realizing this isn't serving my life anymore. And so I've been changing within myself, and you're probably feeling it. And I don't want you to think that I'm doing it because, I don't like you or don't love you or whatever. So this whole thing that I'm explaining, just take a breath with me and feel it. Through this struggle, all of your relationships are transforming and evolving into love, honesty, directness, clarity, to where you have relationships where you love and honor each other, and there's no codependency, no neediness, no push, no pull. It's just where people take accountability for their own energy. Another big issue that people deal with is social exhaustion. When you go out into the world and then you need lots of time alone. If you're feeling this, there's a couple things I want to mention. Number one, whenever I would feel triggered or anything off at all, I would always come back and do an assessment. So it's like a little dance. You go into social situations, you go out, you go in, you go out. You start unwinding all the beliefs and all the judgments that were behind everything feeling like crap in the first place. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer here. It's all happening for you. All that stuff is unraveling, but we're bringing the mind along. We need the conscious mind to be on board. And so we are rewriting that with our approach and our, we'll say, bringing the awareness through the mind so that we can learn how to live in this new state of consciousness. When you find yourself exhausted, frustrated, anything heavy, dense, negative in social situations, come back to yourself and ask yourself two questions. So, right now, if you've got something going on in your life that you don't like, this works for everything. This used to be my go to. I highly recommend it. Maybe you want to write it down. Number one, what am I judging? Oh, this will give you every answer, actually. This is really the only question you need to ask. What am I judging? Where am I in judgment? Who am I judging? What scenario am I judging? What am I trying to control? Where am I defensive, protective? Fear is judgment, on and on and on. Once you identify the judgment, that's going to be your first key. You always want to get to the root cause of these things. And if you're in judgment, well, that's going to drain you. Judgment drains you, period. Every judgment that you make, this is real, that's real. Even if it's just a belief, this equals this. A belief is an energy format that you place over your consciousness. It all weighs you down. It all creates filters. So judge nothing. Number two, where am I giving my power away? To who, what, when, where? Is it money? Is it survival? Is it society? Is it? Am I afraid to say what I need to say because I don't want somebody to react? Where are you giving your power away? This technically falls under number one because that means you're in judgment. You're in fear. All the examples I listed are basically fear-based. So take time to step back, I used to call it my stop, drop, and roll. I've put that in a lot of old videos because whenever I would feel, oh, I'm feeling triggered, I'm feeling off, I'm feeling frustrated. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, sit down, make it quick, jump in, jump out, go in, look at it, and get out. Do the best you can. Don't get stuck there. A lot of people get stuck here analyzing. Oh my God, life is not a problem to solve. Your life is not a puzzle. This is not a game. There's no like solving the game. There's coming into presence. There's transcending the need to solve anything. Take stock. Okay, what is going on here? What am I judging? Where am I giving my power away? You might think, I don't know. Well, do your best. Just do your best with what you have. Creator self, show me, show me, show me. All right. All right, my team, come on, team, show me. And then you just do the best you can. And then you move forward. If you want help with something like that, that's why I work with people or even my group events. It just helps keep ourselves clear. One way I used to keep myself clear and why I make these videos and everything else is watching oodles and oodles of high frequency stuff. Okay. I spent hours and hours and hours and hours every single day during all that time off watching things because what you're getting from this video is a lot more than these words. My words are actually doing very little. You're receiving energetic transmissions. You're receiving encodements of consciousness. It is coming in, and now it's opening the doorway for you to make changes easily. So take time to do whatever you need to do to become clear, and then you hop back into the world. One thing that can really turn people off about going into the world is when you have a bad experience. So, if you've ever experienced freezing, freaking out, I have so many times it's totally countless, probably into the thousands. When you are in that panic mode, you can't think, maybe your heart is pounding, whatever it is. I remember being younger, I would give speeches and people would say, Kathy, that you did such a great job. And I'd be like, oh my God, I thought I was gonna die. My legs, turned to cooked spaghetti and the room started spinning. So some tips for that is number one, be honest. Like I said, when I shared with people, they'd be like, oh my God, I couldn't even tell, blah, blah, blah. If you have a hard time, you can let friends know, let family know. You can ask again yourself for help. But usually, what's going to happen once people know, if there's somebody you want in your life that is, helpful and kind, they're going to take that into account. They might say, hey, come to this thing with me. I'll stick by your side all night. Or you go into whatever, some event, and they introduce you to people. They take a little extra care just to help you along. Another tip that I shared with somebody recently, a coworker of mine, I worked as an employment consultant here in town for a while, and you have to go to all the different businesses and talk to them about their industry, their business, what types of jobs they have, and it can feel very awkward, like you're bothering them because you're asking them for their time. And when the new person started, she mentioned that, the awkwardness of going there and being like, hi. And I said, the key here is this: you smile at everyone, you wave, and you say hi. And it shifts everything. Everyone's happy to see you. They're like, oh, she's just part of the team. Even if they don't know you, they assume that you belong there. And it's like somehow with that approach, I found that I just loved my interactions with everyone. There's a positive association. Keep in mind that everyone has this fear or anxiety about what other people think of them, or is this person that I'm about to meet nice and kind, or should I pull back and be afraid? So that first impression is so important. And this isn't to like put some pressure on you to mask or not be real, because being your genuine self is very, very important. I should go back to the last topic about becoming drained, something I forgot to mention. I will backtrack. Is if you're drained socially, part of the thing of what am I judging or what am I giving my power to is often masking. Like, oh, yes, everything's great, and you're dying inside. This doesn't mean that you mask, but you're choosing your perspective. Like, I'm going to go out today and I'm going to meet people. It's going to be wonderful. And I'm going to give that a go. If you go and you're not fully expressing yourself, you're not asking for what you want, you're not being honest, you're afraid to say what you need to say, that is the drain that I was talking about. That will drain you. You're doing a job you don't like, you're living a life that doesn't feel like yours. So, honesty and authenticity is hugely freeing, empowering, energizing. Anyway, back to this story, waving and saying hi. There was a time through my awakening where I looked down and I realized I had a hard time making eye contact with people. Has anybody here ever had a hard time making eye contact with people? How weird does that feel? I had that my whole life. So it really got worse though during the all the stuff unraveling. And for maybe a year or two, I don't know, I would like be like, Kathy, look up and look people in the eye. I mean, I probably did some weird staring things with people for a while because it was like, my God, I'm not giving into this, we'll say. It was like, what the anyway. So I learned to kind of like challenge myself to look up, look people in the eye, smile and wave. And I can't even tell you how hard that was some days. I chickened out many times. There were times where I just can't do it. So this goes back to you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. If you feel really awkward, weird at times, I feel like I've been the most awkward, weird person. I've had so many experiences like that. I couldn't even begin to share them all. But I did it and it worked and it helped. And the more I did it, the more it felt natural. And the more I did it, the more I liked it. And the more I liked it, the more I did it. And on and on and on. And it's like, God, it's so fun to connect with people when you smile and wave and say hi, and suddenly their heart opens and their energy opens and they come and they tell you a story and you share a story and you feel the love. It's beautiful. So give it a try. Speaking of giving that a try, did it bring up any resistance for you? Anyone? 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 Resistance. We got to talk about the resistance of connecting with people. Now, while it's important to take your cave time, it's also important to go out into the world, to not isolate, to not become totally a hermit. If you have a problem with isolation, get into some kind of connection. There's Facebook groups. I have a private Facebook group if you would like to join me. There's all different groups in the community. You go to the community center, anything that you can do to start connecting. If you've been in isolation to the point where you feel depressed, human connection is important. Even though in embodiment, we embody our wholeness and we have all of our own answers and we don't need anyone, the journey is tough. Okay. It's not to be done alone. We were never meant to do it alone. That's why we're here with all these people on the planet. So make sure that you're reaching out and connecting with people. But when that voice comes up, I don't wanna, the resistance, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't want to do anything. That for me was a big part. And the part that really was a challenge was recognizing that that voice was all ego. And now by ego, most of it for me, I would even see were these childhood aspects. All these children, the rebel, the whatever, who, at times they were forced to do stuff they didn't want to do. And then as I got older, I didn't have to. How do you work through this resistance? Number one, staying clear on what voices you and what voices the ego. Doesn't mean you're going to fight them. They got a reason they don't want to. So be curious, be open, listen, watch, learn, welcome these parts up. We're not talking here about suppressing anxiety or fear or anything like that. You're actually letting it all come up and leave. You're the awareness of it all. And you want to stay as that neutral, but maybe curious awareness. And the more you can stay aware that you are this presence and these other aspects are not you, all these emotional energies and entities are not you, and you can watch them, you create more space between them. So you watch the resistance, the I don't wanna. For a long time, I just allowed them to be there and I agreed with them. Okay, I don't wanna, so I'm not doing anything. And I didn't do stuff. I watched a lot of Netflix. But eventually you start feeling this friction. It's like the more you become embodied, there's this passion, this energy. And I started going, well, do I not want to? Is that really me? And it wasn't me. And then it's like, well, what do I want to do? How does my body feel? My body would feel energized, like I need to move. And this weird friction happens when you are stuck in the I don't wanna and you haven't quite merged out of it yet. Watch for that friction. When you feel it, find ways to move, be creative, go do anything that calls to you. Go out in nature, go get a coffee, go to the store, I don't know, go to a movie, whatever things you do. Take little trips out to break through some of this old energy because if you just sit and you don't move with it, it becomes very heavy and it becomes kind of harder and harder to move and it becomes very uncomfortable in your body. So this voice can come with all different things like I'm too tired, I'm too old, I don't like this, I don't like that. I just why bother? Now this is all the old energy dying off because the old energy is tired. It's tired. It can't hang on anymore and you keep opening up and expanding. So the point is to stay in clarity of what voice is yours. And honestly, with everything I've said, the relief here is the most important thing is your awareness. Just being aware of it all, it's leaving. So if you did nothing else, stay in awareness and stay out of judgment. So one of the most challenging parts about anxiety is how you feel in your body. Your nervous system goes into fight or flight mode. I had fight or flight issues my whole life. And then through awakening, I had panic attacks. I mean, I was frozen. I couldn't leave the house. You have to take good care of your nervous system, take care of yourself. I'm not going to go into a lot of that today. That could be a whole video unto itself. But if you don't consciously breathe, that is number one. Breathe, consciously breathe. If you don't know how to use your breath to change your physiology, I would focus on that for sure. I will tell you one more story, a story about breath. The breath became my guide, my best friend. It became my lighthouse in the dark. When I was maybe around 30 years old in the corporate world, I'd have these big meetings and I'd get all on the inside. I'd, start sweating. I was really sweaty when I was younger. Oh my God. Yes. But there was something not just about the, being put on the spot, having to talk in front of others, but, sometimes it would be like the VP or the president or, these authority figures. That really was a big one for me also. And I can remember, there's always that person, somebody being like, Kathy, why is your face so red? It's like, oh, are you enjoying this? Thanks for pointing that out. But anyway, so when I started yoga, which was before, years before that, but I became really excited, I guess, about the breath because in yoga classes, I would feel so calm, so serene. It was like a visceral hug from the inside out. And I started using the yoga breath in these meetings. So I would sit there and I would slow my breath down, belly, ribs, and chest, deep belly breathing. I would do it like through the thing and I would feel my heart rate slowing down. I would feel like my whole system slowing down instead of everything going really fast. Like, when you're anxious and things just speed up, and it's like you don't even know what happened or you can't think straight. Everything would slow down. I will put it this way, you can slow time down with your breath. And what I mean by that, technically you probably can because time's not real. And is it, I don't know, slow, fast? That's a perception. But you can slow your system down, slow time down. You can actually feel it as you become more expansive through your body. Uh, now these are the fun parts of awakening. I would play with slowing down like the outside world because I'm expanded through it. And as I breathe slower, you're connected to everything. So it starts with your breath, though. The breath is a portal to play with, being able to slow down the heart rate, bring your nervous system into parasympathetic mode, into the rest and digest. It feels so groovy, so beautiful when you've been in fight or flight. You feel like you're just you're gonna shatter at any moment. Everything's tight, and then you open up and expand. So do whatever it takes to get your nervous system healthy, and your nervous system isn't broken. It's just going through a transformation. So keep that in mind, and it will transform. It can transform, but that's a co-creation with you and your body. So do it through breath and then whatever other means. There's nature, there's fun things, there's breaking energy from your life and taking time for yourself, there's massage, there's endless. I've made other videos and posts about this, so take care of your nervous system. So, as we come to an end here, I'll just wrap this up by reminding you, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, be loving, accept all parts of you. And that's just you being you. Remain clear and connected as to what is you, the voice of love, not the voice of judgment. And know that you're right where you need to be. The anxiety is leaving. Are you going to give power to love or fear? Just don't empower the fear. Now, if you have other ways, things that I haven't mentioned, maybe you want to put a comment below. This is a small list. I could go on and on and on for hours. There's so much more to this topic. But I am always sharing from my own experiences, and it's been very enlightening to hear other people's experiences. So, whether you want to share something or if there are other topics you'd like me to make videos on, feel free to leave me a comment. And if you enjoyed this and you enjoy my work, check out the links below. I have a free course, The Freedom to Be You, which you just order on my website and you get immediate access. Or if you want to work together or join a group program, again, with the social anxiety, I offer a safe space for people to connect where we talk about all things related to living everyday life, regular, sometimes messy human life as the facets of creator that we are. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.